Morning News.
Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday, May 24th. I'm Dan Wells.
And I'm Kelly Rippin. A gorgeous Memorial Day weekend on tap. I cannot remember the last time we've had such perfect weather for a long weekend.
And the ladies have to love it because of a lack of humidity.
It's perfect. There's a light breeze. It's very seriously ideal weather. I think we have Steve Norris to thank for that. At least right now we will. Steve's going to fill us in on what we can anticipate for the rest of the weekend. Steve.
Their massive search effort.
More than 1,000 volunteers have been searching for the missing UC student this week. Dully was last seen early Sunday. Friends say he left his apartment around 2 o'clock in the morning to look for his cell phone. And Cincinnati police say they're following up on several leads, but so far, no trace of Brogan. Police in Forest Park say a man is recovering this morning after being hit by a car on westbound I-275. It happened yesterday. The man, whose name is not being released, suffered from minor injuries. Officials say this was not a hit and run. They say the accident is connected to a shoplifting incident at the Kohl's in Forest Fair Village. We'll continue to update you on this story on Fox19.com. On to a Fox 19 consumer alert this morning. Some major retailers are recalling hummus and dip products because of a possible bacterial contamination called listeria.
Yeah, the Fox 19 Weekend Morning News. The owner of a Chinese restaurant in Kentucky is charged with human trafficking. That story's coming up.
A little scary that it's this close to home. Also ahead, several neighborhoods are celebrating Memorial Day weekend. We'll tell you how to get involved after the break.
Balanced news in high definition. The Fox 19 Weekend Morning News.
Good morning and welcome back. Outrage over the VA's alleged mistreatment of sick veterans continues to grow. And now top lawmakers are calling for the removal of Veterans Secretary Eric Shinseki. House Speaker John Boehner said outrage is no substitute for accountability. This as the House advanced a bill which would make it easier to fire nearly 400 senior VA managers for poor performance.
I have to admit I'm getting a little closer. But here's the point. This isn't about one person.
I will not stand for it. Not as commander-in-chief, but also not as an American.
Fox 19 is currently investigating reports of 11 wrongful death lawsuits stemming from Cincinnati's own VA hospital. A major wildfire in Arizona forces hundreds of people to evacuate. The fire spread across thousands of acres. More than 800 firefighters are currently battling the blaze in Oak Creek Canyon. This as dry pine needles, high winds, and steep slopes continue to fuel that quickly moving fire. And as of yesterday, the fire is just 5% contained. Back to a story we were talking about earlier today. The owner of a Chinese restaurant in Louisville is in jail this morning for human trafficking. Louisville Metro Police raided the Golden Palace Cafe on Wednesday, taking the owner Ming Chen into custody. They say a year-long investigation showed some employees were forced to live in rough conditions in the basement of Chen's home, many of whom were not fairly compensated.
We found in our investigation that some of the females that was working as waitresses was working for tips only, and most of the time they didn't even get to keep their tips.
Police have not yet said how many victims are involved in that case. Now, the attorney for a man charged with abducting a California teen 10 years ago says her claims of physical and sexual abuse are lies, but prosecutors went ahead with filing 5 felony charges against suspect Isidro Garcia, including rape and kidnapping. Police say the now 25-year-old victim came forward this week after recently reuniting with her mother. Cleveland kidnapping victim Michelle Knight has also weighed in on the case.
You have absolutely no clue what she went through to say things and say that she was lying or she's doing this.
The suspect was the boyfriend of the alleged victim's mother. Now, still to come, members of the military get into Kings Island for free this weekend. We'll have much more on that and more fun. Coney Island Amusement Park opens its doors this weekend. Details coming up next.